Hi guys, I hope I'm live. Yes, I think I am. Yay. I'm here on Monday. July is 29th, I think, and it's great to be here. And I'm checking the date. Yeah, 29th. Yay. So, my name is Meg Moranis. I'm the voice of Diets Are Fattening, and our message here, very quickly for you guys who already know it, hang in there, is for people who have dieted themselves heavy. And that is what I dealt with for 25 years, and I'm here to tell you that dieting is not the answer. It's actually the opposite of what you want in order to get a body you're proud of in your happy, healthy weight range, and where food and, if your clothes fit and all that stuff fades away as a problem in your life. And wouldn't that be fantastic? And yes, it is fantastic. You have time, energy, love, heart, soul for other things besides constantly stressing about that. So if you join me here, please feel free to comment and all that stuff. And it's great to have you guys here live. So the question I'm going to answer today, and it's just really one, and I think probably a lot of people wonder about this, is what I weigh, what my body's like, and how this has worked for me. So my quick history here, for you guys who don't know it, is that I dieted from the ages of 14 to 40, and I went on my first diet when I was 123 pounds. And so hold up if you go, well, this isn't for me because that would be an amazing weight for me or whatever. Don't worry. Don't judge by that. I'm telling you my whole story here. And again, the message in the diet mentality that we are getting rid of is the same whether you have, 50 pounds to lose, 100 pounds to lose, or like I did, eventually 15 pounds to lose. Okay? So bear with me. Don't let that be a reason and not to listen to me, okay? I promise. I worked in the weight loss industry in Nutrisystem, and I was a trainer for many, many years, so I know what I'm talking about. And my personal experience with stopping dieting and getting rid of a diet mentality is something that works, again, for whatever weight you are currently, if you got there by going on a diet, losing weight, and then gaining more back. That is who my message is for. Diets are fattening. Over time, they make you heavier, not thinner. Okay, so let me back up. So someone said, okay, can you tell me what you weigh? I'm a little over 5'5", and I weigh 130 pounds. I have, again, when I went on my first diet when I was 14, I weighed 123 pounds, and I was like, oh my God, that's so much weight. And I lost weight, went down to 100 and whatever, 12 or 15 quickly. And then I said, okay, that was really awful. I'm never doing that again. And so I just stopped dieting, and I zoomed right up the scale to 135, which, again, is still not a terrible weight, obviously. But I was young, and it was a different era where Twiggy was the star, and I felt really unhappy at that weight. And so that's when I began a cycle of losing that same, basically 15, 18, 20 pounds over and over and over again for 25 years. So I would go from, I really never got back down to 115 ever, and that's totally fine. I would go from 135 to 122 to 125, up to 138, down. So I played in that weight range for a very long time. And it was not healthy. It wasn't, I didn't have an eating disorder, but like I say many times, I had disordered eating, which you probably do too. Honestly, if you're watching this video and you're interested in this, it's because you're trying to figure out a way to keep your body where you want it to be and be happy and healthy in that range. And if you don't have that, it is disordered eating, because that is the way we were intended to be, to have food be a part of our lives in a very normal, healthy way where, food is a pleasure. Food is something you look forward to. Food is something you consume when you're hungry, and we have lost that. And I remember, the first time you diet, and I remember it like it was yesterday, even though it was, oh my God, it was a very long time ago. I'm 59 almost, so when I was 14, okay, I'm not gonna do, that's a very long time ago, right? So if in the first time you diet and you lose weight, you feel like, oh, dieting works because look, I did this, and you remember that for the rest of your life because you lost weight on that first diet. But everyone always loses weight on the first diet, but then they gain it back, and they never put together that it was the diet worked once because your body was like, what is this, and shed weight quickly. It never happens again like that. It really doesn't. And so you're constantly seeking that holy grail of that first time when you lost weight and it was easy, and the rest of your life you spend losing, gaining, and it's no way to live. So that's my personal story, and it's in the book that we have on dietsarefattening.com. We talk all about that, and we have our workbook, which I'm going to go over in a minute here. But if you're watching this and you have more weight to lose than that, it just is going to take you longer, because losing weight when you have 50 pounds to lose is going to be slower than you have 15, but you still lose weight. And join our private Facebook groups and see other people doing that too. There's an adjustment period between, like if you've been a dieter and you're going to give up your diet mentality and replace it with a healthy thin mentality, there's definitely a transition phase where you're like, wow, what is this? Can I really eat that? And you're surprised that you can. And maybe you go, wow, well, I can eat cake now, so I'm going to have cake more. And then you get used to that and you stop eating cake or whatever it is so frequently, although you still enjoy it sometimes. But the joy of having a healthy thin mentality versus a diet mentality is, I'll give you an example. I was sitting yesterday with a group of friends, and, it was after we'd done some working out things, and people were ordering food, and I ordered something because I was slightly hungry, and I had hunger, but it's so pleasant, you guys. And I know it's hard to believe this, but so I got this fried chicken sandwich with French fries, and I ate maybe half of it. I think I had one French fry, and I brought the rest home. And as a dieter, you don't do that, because you're like, well, I'm allowing myself French fries. I'm going to eat these because I won't allow myself this again anytime soon. And that is where the mistake is. It's taking yourself out of the present. And in that moment, when it was a really pretty day, we were outside and ordering food, and it having zero power, zero enticement for me without hunger. And that's where you want to get back to. That's how you were born, where food went with hunger and not eating went with non-hunger. It's the simple formula we're trying to get back to. And dieting destroyed that for you. It certainly destroyed it for me, but you can get it back, okay? So just as you're saying, wow, is it worth it to try to change my whole mentality here? A resounding yes. And I did this year 2000. Obviously, it's been a long time for me, but I also was a dieter for a very long time before that. So I'm just telling you that if you are sitting there and you're in a body that you're not happy with, and you've been a dieter, and you go, oh, it'd just be so much easier, just go on another diet, and maybe by the holidays, okay, it's August now, almost, I'll look good. Don't do it to yourself. Don't lead yourself down that path again. Say to yourself, no, I've been on diets, and yes, I lose weight, and yes, I gain it back. And that's really bad for me. Psychologically, morally, it beats up my morale. It makes me down. And then after, I get to the holidays, and I fit into a dress, and I go to a party, and I can't eat the food because I'm afraid I'm going to gain it back, but then I eventually crack, and I gain it all back. Then I go to another party, and people see me heavier, and I don't like that either. Remember that. That's what the workbook's all about, to take you through this and make you remember the truth of what really goes on when you're dieting and when you are building your healthy thin mentality. Your healthy thin mentality is about normalizing your relationship with food and eating. And again, I didn't have an eating disorder. And if you're going, well, I don't have an eating disorder, my relationship with food is normal. Well, think about that. If you're eating without hunger, that could be normal in the sense that a lot of people do that, but that's not healthy. That is not how you want to approach your life with food and eating. You want to reconnect with that beautiful, oh God, here comes hunger. I'm so excited. I get to eat something great, and then move on with your day. Or like I did yesterday. I got a hair on my face. Like I did yesterday when I was sitting there, and even though I've been doing this a long time, it's still a joy to go, there's food on my plate. I want nothing to do with it right now because I'm not hungry. But it's going to be really great later on. And I brought it home, and later on, actually, I didn't eat it. I gave it to my husband. He ate it. So it's like a good savings too, right? It's a healthy thin mentality. Not only is good for your body, your soul, your spirit, really everything. It's also cheaper than dieting. It's also a lot cheaper. You don't have to buy special foods. Now, when I usually bring up food that I've eaten here, it seems like I'm always saying French fries or something that you don't consider healthy, but that's really not the truth. Maybe I just noticed that more because I'm so happy that I'm not freaked out by that food at all. But plenty of times I order very healthful, so last night, same day, we went out to a sushi restaurant, and I had a very, very modest sample of miso soup, right? Okay, that's helpful. And I had fried rice with shrimp in it. Oh, and I had part of a roll. Okay, I didn't eat that much yesterday, but all those things, I'm just saying this to you so you do crave food like that too. You absolutely will crave, maybe not sushi for you, but you will crave things that are high in protein or high in vegetables or high in fiber. You will crave great food, not just French fries like I seem to talk about a lot. I noticed that too. So just remember that. Give yourself a chance to relearn what foods you actually are craving, what foods you actually like, and what foods you actually enjoy in certain times. Okay, I just cut my dog's hair, and I've got hair all over me. Sorry. So anyway, so just when you're if you're new at this, or if you've been doing this a while, please keep the faith that in time, when you keep building that relationship with I'm hungry and I'm eating, I'm not hungry, I'm not eating, I'm hungry, I'm eating, I'm not hungry, I'm delaying eating until I'm hungry again. Just know that when that wheel gets turning, and it will take you for the ride. You will not have to worry and think about it at all anymore. It'll be like, yeah, this is my life. Why would I eat when I'm not hungry? And you will have that thought. You absolutely will. You'll go, why would I eat when I'm not hungry? Even though now, if you're a dieter now and you're trying to get off dieting, or you're even, kind of new at this, you're like, well, yeah, food, even when I'm not hungry, really is really hard for me to resist. It won't be. Keep it going. Keep matching up hunger and eating, and non-hunger and not eating, or I prefer to say delaying eating, because that's more positive and it's the truth. You get to eat many times every day. If you can just match those up, you'll never have to worry about this again. And weight loss occurs when you're eating an appropriate amount of food, a relevant amount of food that reflects your hunger. And your body will not demand food in a way that will put weight on you. Your body will demand food to answer the energy requirements that you have, right? So if you do that, and you have extra weight on you, that extra weight falls away because your body gets comfortable knowing that whenever you have, a very active day or whatever, that you feed your body with respect to that, but no more than that. So you have extra, you have less calories in than you need to maintain the body that you currently have that's holding on to more weight than you need. Okay, your body doesn't want to hold on to, an extra 50 pounds, and a healthy thin mentality will not get you weird thin, because it just gets tricky, because I don't want to say anyone's healthy or unhealthy based on a few pounds there. But just let me put it to you this way. I don't think I've ever talked about this. I had an illness 5 years ago that was serious. And if I had been weird skinny like I wanted to be when I was a kid, like wanting to be 120, and I'm over 5'5", and I'm 59 years old, then I wouldn't have had the resources, or the reserves to. I would have been really, really sick skinny at the end of that. I did lose weight doing that in that illness, and I want to say to people, if you have an extra 5 pounds, 7 pounds, 8 pounds, or whatever on you, that can be a good thing. That can be Mother Nature's little protectiveness, that in case you ever, are sick and you need, you want to have some reserves. You don't want to be at a point like when people are very young and skinny and they're teenagers and that looks cute on them. That's fine. That's being a teenager. But when you get to be, a grown person, you don't have to be that thin. You can be thin and healthy and happy in your body and have, 5 pounds on you. And if that upsets you, I'm sorry, but for me, used to, I'm like, no, I feel good. I feel good, and I don't even call it extra pounds. It's just that, you want to have a body that is healthy, happy, and strong. And to me, strength and healthy and happy body means, for me, where I am now, right? And I've been here for a very long time, and that's what a healthy thin mentality does for you. It keeps you stable in a happy, healthy weight range. If you lose the extra weight, and I did, and I was so pleased to finally get rid of that, and then be in this, and not have to think about it anymore, and be in, in this happy, healthy weight range where I'm strong and healthy, and I can cope with anything that would come up. And, you might need some reserves to fight off something someday. That's not an excuse to be overweight or, obese. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say that, instead of looking so short term at our weight and our body and what we weigh, back up the lens a little bit and say, where's my body's natural, healthy, happy weight range? And that being your goal, okay? Not being, for me, being 115 pounds at 5'5". I mean, what's the point of that, right? And again, I was really young back then. And yeah, anyway. So I hope that I'm just trying to always give you my story so you know where I come from. And the whole way I developed a healthy food mentality was following my grandmother, who was the only person I knew who was in my life who wasn't weirdly obsessed with food. I had I say this all the time too. I had 4 mothers, a mother, a stepmother, a mother-in-law, and a stepmother-in-law, all great people, but all crazy dieters, and that's what I thought I was supposed to do. And boy, was I wrong. And shunning that and saying, no, take a serious look at their dysfunctional relationship with food. Sorry, guys, but totally true. Completely dysfunctional relationship with food. And I'm sure you have people in your life like that now. Maybe your mom, maybe your sister, maybe your husband, maybe your wife, whatever, and they try to impose things on you. No, say no. I'm too smart for that. I see the folly here. It is matching eating with hunger. That is the dream. It is not the dream of food rules and making sure you eat this or don't eat that. It's no, relax and listen to hunger and cravings. They're beautiful. Ruth Ann, yes, I've got a question. You lose weight naturally listening to your body. Is it all fat or do we lose muscle? It's an interesting question. When you lose weight, you have, if you lose weight with a healthy thin mentality, let me put it this way. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you are healthy, working out, keeping your muscle going, I'm not a scientist, and you may lose some muscle too, but what does it matter? There's no way to tell your body to lose weight just in your abdomen or just in your legs or just in your fat and not your muscle. We don't have control over that. I don't care what you don't. Your genetic makeup, and what are you going to do, right? The goal is to be a happy, healthy weight and feel good and look good in your clothes. If you feel like you need some more muscle on your body, the way to do that is to lift weights, right? That's how you get more muscle on your body. And I think lifting weights is a great thing. But I think we tend to, worry about things we don't need to worry about. So don't worry about if you're losing muscle or fat or whatever. Just get your relationship with food and eating healthy and happy, and your body will be in balance. It may not be like a gymnast or whatever, a fashion model or a swimmer. Who cares? That's not who you are, right? If you are that person, you're not watching this video. You're training to be an elite athlete. That's not what we're doing here. We're sitting here trying to live in our bodies happily and have a good relationship with food and eating. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about your body fat percentage. Don't worry about any of that. Worry about connecting eating with hunger, and things work out. I promise. Things work out. They really do. So, okay, right now we're starting on week 4. And I want to reiterate the daily checklist that you need to do every day. Keep food with you. Make use of our resources in Facebook or on our blogs at dietsfighting.com. Make use of that. Get support, right? Do this smart. Be smart enough to take care of yourself in this way. And then, keep one of the mantras, one of the sayings that we have here, foremost in your mind to battle off the diet mentality messaging that you're going to get all day. So week 4 is just a reiteration of the connection between eating and hunger. Wake up, not hungry, eat, no. If you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, do not fall back on, breakfast is the most important of the day, most important meal of the day, or my mom always made me eat breakfast, or wow, that that oatmeal I had is sitting there ready for me to go. No, if you're not hungry, it's never okay to eat. If you're not hungry, it's not ever relevant to eat, okay? Relevant. Eat, hungry, not eat, not hungry, right? That matches up. So no other questions. Nothing else matters. Just ask yourself, am I hungry? It's such a simple response to any question you have regarding building your healthy thin mentality. And even though it's simple, I know you need strategies to do this, because I know I did. You got to replace a diet mentality with a healthy thin mentality. So I'm trying to give you the thoughts that you need to think of instead. Okay? So week 4, exercise 1. All right? We're just going to do exercise 1. You are 3 weeks into building a healthy thin mentality. How are you? Have you gone grocery shopping? I remember my first trip to the grocery store after deciding I would stop dieting. What a remarkable change. Instead of going up and down the aisle with blinders on, I was like, wow, I can eat anything here whenever I'm hungry. I can have anything in this store. And it's kind of a relaxed, in some ways overwhelming feeling, but you got to go through this. You've got to retrain yourself that food is not evil. Even food that is highly processed and crappy, if you were starving, would save your life. So let's not call it evil, okay? Let's not call it evil. And relax this initial, this really strong food culture that we have of eating perfect food. Don't worry about it. That will come. Your choices on what you eat will change as you get through this, as you go into your healthy thin mentality. I'm just going to read this question. Kinga, I find if I eat but not enough protein, I binge easily. I'm not satisfied. Okay, that's a great point. Okay, guess what? Guess what you do in that situation? You say to yourself, my body is telling me that I don't feel great if I don't eat some protein in my meal. What a beautiful, beautiful thing to hear from your body. So what do you do with that information? You eat some protein with your food because you go, well, my body not only told me I was hungry, my body gave me feedback after this meal that if I don't eat protein, I don't really feel that great afterwards for very long. I kind of get hungry really quick and I don't feel satisfied. That's beautiful. Follow that. Follow that. That's the way you get to learn about yourself and the way you get to understand what food makes you feel good. Pay attention. That is your voice. Your body's voice is screaming at you. And that's such a great question and such a great point. So thank you for asking that. It's a really, we all want to be our own like private eyes, our own investigators, our own scientists, figuring out what makes me work. And you know what? I find that true too. I find that if I eat more protein, I tend to feel a little better. Maybe that's not you, maybe that is you. And just because I'm saying that, and we had one comment saying that, don't all of a sudden turn your life towards, okay, now I should be eating more protein. Pay attention to what your body's telling you because we're all different. You know, if you're really active, you may need more protein. If you are sedentary for a week or so, you may notice your body isn't screaming for it. You know, be open to listening, be open to the change, be open to the ups and downs of your appetite, of your cravings. Okay, that's a beautiful thing to pay attention to. So again, great question. I'm so glad you asked that. So in the first 3 weeks of your healthy thin mentality, you have a little place where you write what foods have you eaten that your diet mentality would have forbidden. You know, okay, so God, there were so many for me when I first did this. You know, I wasn't eating, I would never eat things I actually really loved. Or if I did, it was because I was binging. Because I was binging or because I was just being bagged, so I was going to go on another diet. So now the question is, were you able to delay eating those foods until your body communicated hunger to you? In other words, back to one of my favorite sayings, nothing is fattening when you're hungry. Everything is fattening when you're not. So just even if let's say you were a dieter and you never allowed yourself to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh, I remember that because I love those. And I actually love those, but I never eat them now that I'm allowed. Now that I'm allowed anything, I don't eat them very much. But as a dieter, I used to, oh God, that would be so good. I love peanut butter. I love jelly, whatever. And so in the beginning, okay, I would eat that and go, I can't believe I can eat this. As long as I was hungry, no problem. If I ate that without hunger, whether I was on a diet or not, then it's fattening, guys, right? So remember that. Just say, as long as I wait for hunger, the world is my oyster, or the world is my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, whatever I want. So I'm saying, don't worry. Is it a variation of one of the following? Okay. All right. Then the statements on the page, bottom of page 53 and 54 are just questions that you need to ask yourself. I'm going to give you an example of one. I wanted something, but I was just so concerned that the junk food I wanted would make me gain weight, so that even though I was craving a donut, I ate plain whole wheat bagel. Now, that's not really suffering, but it's not really answering your craving. And all that does is keep the demonization of certain foods alive in you. And you don't want to do that. Because if you demonize food, think about this, you're giving it power. You don't want food to have power over you. You want to have power over your choices in the food. So don't demonize the donut. Have the donut. Who cares? Who cares? It's 250 calories of a donut versus toast. Oh, I'm not going to be healthy if I eat that? Yes, you will, because you're going down a long-term journey where you no longer perseverate about, is a donut bad for you? A donut is sugary and carbohydrates. So is whole wheat toast. It's got sugar in it and it's got carbohydrates. They're not that different. Yes, one is more nutritious. And gosh, if people are out there and nutritionists, how can you say that? Because again, I'm looking at a long-term picture of you and your life and eating. It's better to eat the damn donut and get on with your life, okay? It's better to do that. And then that donut becomes less powerful because you're like, if I really want that, I can have it. I don't have to eat the toast or fruit or whatever instead. It just takes all that stress away, okay? So, don't hear me say that and go, oh, this woman is suggesting I just eat junk food. I'm not. I'm suggesting get over the junk food by having some when you crave it. And trust me that that won't last. Because guess what? Your body really wants you to have healthful food. Your body wants you to provide good nutrition and good nourishment. And you will crave that. You just got to get through this little first situation. Okay, question here. Can hunger be thinking about food constantly and not being able to forget about it even though I don't feel physical hunger? That's a great question too. Okay, you know why you're thinking about food all the time? Because you've been dieting. And that's what dieting does to you. Do you know that I can't cite a specific study, but feel free to Google it. Dieting creates a stronger emotional connection to food. Physically too, but emotionally as well. So like I used to think about food so much more when I was a dieter because I was constantly dieting, even though I wasn't at a happy weight like I feel now. So I'm thinking about food way less and eating less and caring about food less. But when I'm eating it, enjoying it more. When you're a dieter, you think about food much more because you're never actually giving yourself what you want. You're never actually satisfying yourself. So that shallow satisfaction that you get from maybe eating something that you substituted the low-fat yogurt for the one you really wanted or whatever, you never really get that, it's great, and move on with your day and you feel good and there's no stress. So that little food in your head is constantly dealing in deprivation and I really wanted this, but I ate this, I'm trying to be good. Guys, that doesn't help you. Get rid of it. When you crave something, eat it. The constant thinking about food goes away. I promise it goes away. I promise. And it's not just me. Go to our Facebook page and see other people saying that as well. So that's really, really important. That's just really, really important. It's another really, really great question. So even though you think you're thinking about food all the time, keep going here. Keep going and it will fade and your body and you will calm down. You really will. So these questions again on the page 53-54, look at those and go over that because again, you're adjusting to a new state of mind here and you're going to have questions in your head. And these were all things that I thought of course, that's why they're in here. That's how would I know because I went through this too. I was just so overwhelmed with the choices and frankly, I'm just really nervous about this. I'm going to gain weight. Oh my God, I can eat anything I want. Remember, I'm saying you can eat anything you want when you're hungry. Nothing is fattening when you're hungry. Everything is fattening when you are not. You know? Carrots are fattening when you're not hungry. Cake is not fattening when you are. Just remember that. It's not perfect nutrition, but that will come. Well, I was hungry when I started, but I don't know if I ate too much. That's another question. Or I was so excited to eat a cupcake that I didn't even wait for hunger. Well, I was so concerned that the junk food I wanted would make me gain weight. I ate the whole wheat bagel instead of the donut. Yeah, these are all very normal thoughts. Just keep in mind that this is the stage of getting rid of your diet mentality and embracing your healthy thin mentality. And you will, dieting and diet mentality thinking is a perfection-based model, right? That's not what this is. This is not, I didn't wait for the cupcake till I was hungry, so I've been bad, so, I can't do this. Guys, if you were a little kid learning how to walk, and I say this in the book, and you fell, would you hyper criticize yourself? No, you say, it's okay, you made it 5 steps, now get up, let's do some more. Treat yourself that way. Treat yourself as your own mom or your own dad. Treat yourself that way. Like you wouldn't berate yourself if you fell when you were learning to walk. You are relearning how to eat and relearning how to connect with hunger. And that's what you're doing here. Okay, so if you don't wait for hunger one day, okay, that's fine. You learned from that. Next time, remember that and say, maybe I can wait a little bit. Maybe I can connect eating with hunger a little bit better. And there's going to be days when you do it really well. And there's going to be days when you don't do it really well. But it will get better and it will get easier. Unlike dieting, and you know this feeling, guys, where like you've been on a diet for 3 weeks or whatever. And you're like, okay, I'm not even hungry anymore. And this is kind of easy and you feel good. But you crack. You don't even know you're about to crack. And all of a sudden, you just crack and you binge. And you're like, oh my God, I just ate more in a day than I ate in like 5 days on this diet. And it's so debilitating. So I've been there myself. I know it. This is the way out. I promise. Normalize relationship with food and eating. Stop demonizing food. The whole world is open to you and your beautiful body will direct you to exactly what you need. And weight loss occurs when you match eating with hunger. because your body is not going to give you hunger to maintain a body that is too big for you. And when I say too big for you, I mean like your genetic predisposition is important and it's strong. And I say this all the time too, like some of us were born little beagles, some of us were born Great Danes, some of us were born corgis, some bulldogs. That's your predetermined weight. Don't try to fight that. And that doesn't mean heavy. That just means we're all different shapes. When you listen to that and respect that and don't try to be a ridiculous weight for you and just feel good in your clothes and it's stable, everything changes. Everything changes and it's so good. I want this for every single person out there who's watching this. It is the best gift you'll give yourself. It is life affirming. It's joy. It is calmness. It is enjoying the incredible luck we have to be living in a world where food is plentiful, because that didn't used to be the case. And we're all just sitting here learning how to handle all this food. And you can, and you will, okay? If this video was helpful to you, please like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, because the more people do that, then the more people will see this, and I'm really trying to help as many people as I can, because it is not melodramatic to say that dieting causes a lot of suffering and a lot of weight gain, ironically, right? So thank you so much for being here with me, and I will be back soon, and please feel free to, again, join our Facebook groups, and they're listed in that little information thing below if you look. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. See you soon.